In the sweltering heat of the Guyanese jungle in November 1978, the world would come to know of a tragedy so bizarre and horrifying that it seemed unreal. It began with a man, charismatic, manipulative, and power-hungry, named Jim Jones. To his followers, he was a prophet. To the outside world, he would become the architect of one of the deadliest cult tragedies in modern history. Jones had built his empire under the banner of the People's Temple, promising racial equality, communal living, and a socialist utopia free from the oppression of the outside world. Disillusioned Americans followed him in droves. Many were black, poor, and marginalized, desperate for hope. Jones preached about love, unity, and justice, but behind the scenes, he ruled with fear, punishment, and paranoia. By the mid-1970s, facing scrutiny in the United States for abuse allegations, Jones led over 1,000 of his followers to a remote jungle settlement in Guyana, South America. It was to be the promised land, Jonestown, but the dream quickly soured. The commune was run like a labor camp, with armed guards, forced work, and grueling propaganda sessions that stretched deep into the night. Letters were censored. Food was scarce, and Jones, growing increasingly paranoid and addicted to drugs, warned of CIA conspiracies, assassins, and betrayal lurking everywhere. In the US, concerned relatives and defectors raised alarms. Their efforts finally led to a visit from US Congressman Leo Ryan in November 1978. Ryan arrived with journalists and a small delegation, determined to investigate the cult firsthand. At first, the visit seemed peaceful, even cordial, but cracks appeared quickly. Secret notes were passed to the outsiders by desperate members, begging for help to escape. As Ryan prepared to leave with a small group of defectors, tension exploded. At the airstrip in nearby Port Katuma, gunmen sent by Jones ambushed the delegation. Congressman Ryan was shot dead, along with 3 journalists and It was the first time a U.S. congressman had been killed in the line of duty. Back in Jonestown, Jim Jones gathered his flock under the pavilion. He knew the end had come. Over a loudspeaker, he delivered what he called a revolutionary suicide speech. He told them the government would come, torture them, destroy their utopia. The only escape, he insisted, was death. What followed was a horrifying, methodical act of mass murder. Giant vats of a sweet, grape-flavored drink were mixed with cyanide, Valium, and other lethal substances. The youngest died first. Babies and toddlers were poisoned with syringes squirted directly into their mouths. Parents followed, often willingly, others forced at gunpoint. Some resisted, some had to be restrained. Screams rang through the jungle, then silence. When Guyanese authorities arrived, they were met with a scene of unimaginable horror. Over 900 bodies sprawled across the ground, arms around each other, many face down in the dirt. Jim Jones was found among them, dead from a gunshot wound to the head, likely self-inflicted or delivered by a loyal aide. Jonestown became a global symbol of cult fanaticism, manipulation, and the devastating power of blind faith. For many, it was the first time they heard the phrase that would live in infamy. Drinking the Kool-Aid, a dark legacy of one man's twisted grip over hundreds of souls.